What's up, YouTube? So a friend of mine sent me a link on YouTube to a article. The name of the article is called "In Job Hunt, College Degree Can't Close Racial Gap." And it's just talking about how qualified professional black men, even with even with advanced degrees, still can't find employment, or they have a hard time finding employment in the industry that they plan for. So it's not just about finding a job, it's about finding a job and a career in the industry that they took the time out, they made the sacrifices, they put all the blood, sweat, and tears and all that money into getting, so they can be qualified, and most of the time overqualified, but they can't even get an interview. And even if they get an interview, after the interview there's no call back, and even during the interview, they get the whole cold shoulder, not even the dignity of being warm and upfront to you and saying, hey, you did a great job. You get the visible, oh, I didn't know you were black. So the article was just talking about that. And once again, this is the side that the women never want to look at. A lot of professional black women who talk about their lack of dating options, he doesn't have a job and he's unemployed. No one wants to talk about, the women don't want to talk about how the men who are qualified, who have the same qualifications as you, and some who are even overqualified because they have to be, still can't find work, right? Still can't find it because they're not in control. And what further drives the divide between black men and women, especially when we become professional, is based off of this whole idea that they have something that we don't. This whole idea that, they're just hardworking, they're smarter, they're more professional, they're more patient, they're just better. And that's why they're working, right? And they're just breaking down the door, right? But in reality, okay, you got chose. Simple as that. You got chosen. The crazy thing is, a lot of professional black women want to act as if they're breaking down the door and barriers. No, it doesn't work that way. You got let in. Typically, when somebody says they've broken down some barrier or some a door that was there before, it's because they own something. Okay? And they're saying, hey, you didn't want to hire me? I'm not good enough for you? Well, forget you. I'm going to start up my own business, and I'm going to break into this industry, and I'm going to compete with you. That's breaking down the door. Okay? That's breaking down a barrier. When somebody tells you no, you can't get it done, all right, I'm going to do it on my own, and I'm going to come back, and then we'll see what's going on. So breaking the barrier isn't about, the black girl who gets the job at this firm. Breaking the barrier is the girl who starts up her own firm and says, I'm going to compete with you now. Right? I'm going to break down the barrier. I'm going to break into this industry where you thought that I couldn't get the job done. But for the most part, a lot of these black women aren't breaking down any door or any barrier. They're getting let in. Simple as that. Somebody's saying, I'm going to open up the door for you, let you in. I'm going to, lower my shield and let you in. And half the time, I'm going to open up a crack in the window. I'm going to watch you squeeze through it too. So I'll let you in, but you have to crawl in through the back, through the window. So you have that going on, but somehow that always gets translated into how well we're doing, and we're just kicking your ass, and we're so professional, this, that, and the third, right? No one wants to talk about the different levels of profession. No one wants to talk about how a lot of these jobs that are considered to be professional don't pay shit, right? No one wants to talk about how if you're an employer and you have a position that's only paying, 30 or 40K a year, how you're going to more than likely hire a woman to work that job. People talk about, women are paid less. In my opinion, women choose to take positions that pay less money. Now, people want to act as if every job is negotiable in terms of how much you make. No, that is a myth. That is a fallacy. Yes, you have certain positions, and those positions where you negotiate your salary, those are typically for positions that are up there on the feeding scale. So you're not some, entry level. You've had, there's people who can't do what you do. So of course you can negotiate because they can't go off and replace you. Let's be real here. But for a lot of these positions in professional America, it's already set what you're making. You already know what you're going to make. People want to act as if there's some big negotiation. No. The question is, are you going to choose that job or are you not? I have position X. Position X is going to pay you $36,000. Do you want that job or do you not want that job? Some dudes will say no. Why? Because we have to be the big head honchos. We have to be the big breadwinners, right? And you'll have women who say, okay, I'll take it. Because they know they don't have to be the breadwinners, right? So you have all that going on. So you have the majority of these black women who aren't these these uber super duper professionals, who are just regular people. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're a regular professional, just like everybody else who's, just doing what they have to do. But that always gets translated into, I'm kicking ass and I'm doing so much better and I'm breaking down the doors. What door did you break down when they let you in? And they didn't let me in. What did you break down? Nothing. How much are you actually making? What are you doing? What are you breaking down? You got in because you're less of a threat. If I'm a white employer, a lot of black women don't understand this. You killed two birds with one stone. Okay, I can hire you, and you're a woman, first of all, and you're black. So you handle the whole minority thing, right? Don't hire an Asian girl and try to pass her off as a minority. Oh, she's Asian. Don't hire the Indian girl and say, oh, this is a minority. They're going to be like, that doesn't count. They're going to put an asterisk by that. But put a black girl there, or even put, a Latina looking chick, not like, not no Christina Aguilera, but an actual Hispanic looking, type of woman, or a black woman. And everybody's like, oh, okay, you have minorities. Right? But a lot of black women don't see that. Okay, and we've already talked about before how the women don't really pose a threat. Okay, how black women don't pose threats to the power structure, but the women want to throw that away. They want to act as if there's no dick measuring competitions when you come to professional America. Where the dudes are trying to jockey, who has the most pull, who has the biggest whip, who has the hottest wife, who's the most in shape, who has the Porsche, where do you live, how much are you making? The women don't want to act like that doesn't go on in corporate America, right? But if you're a chick, you don't play into that, okay? You hire the black guy there, it's raps. I'll never forget that episode. I don't watch The Office like that, but my brother loves the show, and he played me this episode of The Office with Idris Elba. Okay, I think he was on 2 episodes, but the episode I watched, he's like a regional manager, and he comes in, and the women in the show go nuts. All the chicks on the show, they're all trying to look good for him, and it was funny, but even they saw it. Go figure. Okay, ain't nobody. There's no black script writers on The Office, you know what I mean? It's just all white people, okay, who create the show. And they even created an episode where they put a black guy in a position of power, and all the women went nuts. All the women were like, oh my gosh, and the dudes were like, some of the guys had a problem with it. It was so funny. It was funny, but it was true at the same time. Okay, but once again, the women don't see that. Okay, once again, you're not hurting his ego. Okay, the white guy in power already knows the secretary wants to sleep with them. He already knows that, the entry-level girl wants to be with them because he's at the top. He has power. His ego, his swag is on 10. You put a black guy in there, messes up everything. Because he's walking around and they're like, oh my gosh, he's black, so he has to be the great lover. Right? Plus he's smart and he has money. Oh, he's just at the top of the food chain. That plays part in corporate America. Whether you like it or not, it's part of it. Right? But the women don't see it. And the sad thing is, now you have all these specials about how we need to expand our options. And, maybe professional white men are dating options. Once again, feeding into the whole divide. Right? Of course, if I'm a white guy, shit, why not? I'll be running around trying to hire as many black women as possible. I don't have to pay them as much. They killed 2 birds with one stone, and half of them are going to want to be with me anyways. Right? Because they have a problem with their men, and and they think that they can, get the best and brightest of white men. So why not hire a black girl? So I don't lose. So I love articles like this to, bring it to the end, because as I was reading through the article, all those thoughts ran into my head. And it really pisses me off, once again, when the women want to come on and throw black men under the bus as if we're all lazy and as if they're doing something magical, how they're breaking down something, how they're, just busting through new barriers, when in reality, they're being let in, right? Because they're not posing a threat. They're not. So y'all take it easy. Y'all read the article. Man, I'm not trying to put down the women, first of all. I'm not trying to knock on anybody's accomplishments, but you have to understand what's going on. You know, far too often, the women want to turn blind to issues going on in the black community once they make it. You know, once black women get the job, they get the money, it's almost as if all the other issues going on in the black community go away. And they made it, how come you didn't? But in reality, you got led into the door. So y'all take it easy. Tell me how you feel. God bless.